council motion is consideration proposal from Flammable River Outfitters offer to purchase parcel number 246-3033560-000 on corner of College Avenue and Port Arthur Road. And we have the map, and we also have a letter from Layton Federal Savings, and we also have a proposal to enter it. And do you want to continue on, or?
Sure. So all I'll say is that I had the discussion with the chair, and we wanted to, at Phil's recommendation, run it through the property committee first before bringing it to the board level. If you guys have things that you think you might want to negotiate on the proposal that Flammable River Outfitters did submit, I would suggest that would be then something that would be handled at the board level. They are here today, Lynette and Rodney. Yep. And so if you have any questions for them here, kind of vet anything else beforehand. Otherwise, it would be prudent to make a motion to forward to county board.
That little sign out there, does that belong to Marshfield? And is that on the property?
Yes, it is on the property, and we have, Rich and I are going to talk about this at the board meeting. We have an MOU in place that is outdated, and we all know it's outdated. This became a topic when the hospital vacated, and the MOU is between the city of Ladysmith, the Rusk County Memorial Hospital, and the Ladysmith Development Corporation. But there's nothing here that would prohibit the sale of that land, in our opinion.
There's kind of an easement there.
Not even so much. It's just kind of and it says repeatedly in this MOU that this is not, this document shall not and thus shall not establish nor create any form or manner of formal agreement or indenture, but rather an agreement between the parties to work together. So, yeah, in our opinion, this is very, very, very much negotiable with Marshfield.
So is the intent to take that, move the sign, or take it down, or leave it?
That is something that we're gonna have to work, if you guys do decide to sell to Flammable River Outfitters, that's something we would all need to work on together, what's gonna happen with that sign.
And so your plan is to build the building then to accept a bigger size of what site you're
Correct.
doesn't that leave quite a bit of space in that
Yeah,
lot? I'm
We
just curious
probably
what-
won't use all of it.
Oh, you gotta remember, they're gonna have parking. People need to turn their boats around there, get minnows and bait.
Yeah,
So you probably have a fairly large parking lot.
Yeah,
as well,
it
but
would
you
be
don't have
more-
any plans of like, dividing that up in a smaller lot, some of it.
No,
Have
no.
another
not at
business
this point, no. And if, I don't know, if we did, it would be ours doing it again, more retail space. That would be it, but
Is there like a expanded offerings you probably have in there, like, compared to what you got space for now? I'm assuming a bigger building.
Yeah, we offer kayaks and more rod minnow space. Archery.
we went up for archery. That's we're finding a trend that's selling a lot more than the fishing is right now. So we'd like to have a much bigger spot. We will be making a bigger archery range inside. Right now we have that tiny little thing that just goes. We'd like to have it a little bigger. That takes up quite a bit of room without really much retail space, but we're hoping. And then the guys at the shop out there, why don't you do virtual golf? So, we got a little playroom that, we don't know how expensive that is. We talked about, and we looked at one time, we did used to have, what was it called? Archery.
Virtual archery.
Yeah, virtual archery. There's only like one company that produces it, and it's very expensive. So, but
We used to have leagues in there years ago,
yeah,
but the software kind of outdated.
yeah,
It doesn't really work as well as it used to. So there's conflict there with the company and the software.
yeah. And we're looking for something new. It's just not out there just yet, and I'm really surprised that it's not. But that's something we'd like to possibly
Look into.
look into as well.
I
And
see
then-
that, the plan is to borrow $250,000.
Um,
Does that include the land?
That
How
was,
did she explain that?
okay, so when I misunderstood her a little bit. When you looked at the first proposal, then when we got all the stuff from you guys, it included that other piece of land, and it was that whole one at one point was was appraised at $250,000. And I didn't understand that when I was doing that when I went to the bank. So that's what originally was for that amount. Now we found out it was a lot smaller amount.
Well, looked at, it was available about purchase.
Yeah.
We found out it was sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we went to the bank, we just went for a larger amount. So, and at this point, being the smaller amount, yes, we're gonna have to have some help building it as well financially.
So
I
the
mean-
question, do you have any plans of a building construction loan or?
Yes, that's, right now, the bank is fine with working with us with all of it. And I surely could go get another letter from them. We do have enough money for doing some of it our own. We don't need a loan to have to do it. So, it'll be a combination of both of that. We only asked for 250, but he
Because they had, it was 5.5 acres.
yeah, we read it wrong, so yeah, and they were willing to work with us as well with the building aspect of it. We have just kind of started with asking around. We'd like to have as much local people help us. That's why we went to Ladysmith Federal. Not that we've had a long relationship with them as well, but contractors, we couldn't find a general contractor to do such a building in Ladysmith. So we contacted a couple, one is in Chippewa, one is in Eau Claire. That's the closest we could find, but in turn, then we'd like them to try to find bids for people close by as well. That would be part of them helping us. We don't want everybody from Eau Claire. If
Keep it local.
if we can find the
We are
local
local.
plumber or the local landscaper or the local, that there are those people around here, we would prefer to do that as well.
Well, if this goes through, when are you planning on constructing?
We would start right away.
This
working- Yeah, working on,
Summer.
When we get started.
Planning.
yeah, we try to plan. We're new to this, so we don't know what hoops we have to go through next. We understand what licensings we have to have, what,
Building permits
for
and all of
all
that.
that stuff. And that's what, when we talk to a couple of the general contractors, we explain that to them, that we're new to this. We really feel that we want to try this. We've been longtime business owners, but never owning commercial property. So,
Assuming we know this is zoned appropriately for what they want to do.
What's that?
Is it zoned appropriately for?
Yeah.
Okay.
so
It's
we've got-
rich.
Mhm.
Yep, Rich is in it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
I see the offer is 142.
mhm. Yeah, we kind of went back to that 5 point whatever original was, and it was when why we got in our head was it ended up being about $1 a square foot. So that's how we based on it, because they appraised it for $250,000 at 250,000 square feet. Yeah, so that's kind of what we went. Plus, we've been told that there is things possibly underneath the ground there. That the old school or music school buried a bunch of stuff. So that's how we went just a slightly lower than the original, because it's about 160 something square feet is what that property size is. So we were looking at how much is that going to cost us to clean up? How much is that going to take us out? That's why there's also a little indemnity in there for us to protect us a little bit, that we'd like to just maybe see if we could have somebody check it out, dig a little bit in, take a little something down. I don't know.
If we have to go that deep,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So we could kind of know how much it would cost us to get rid of it, if it's just metal desks and beds and, old things, should be easy to do, but if it's more.
Nuclear waste.
Yeah.
Well, we hope not.
People
We
come
might
up
find some
here.
copper and gold.
Yeah, another gold,
Yeah.
copper beam.
That'd be awesome. So that's why we came in that proposal. Obviously, like anything, we understand that there might be some negotiation. That's, again, we're new to this, so that was our first go around.
Well, the driveway or access to it would have to be the same as Walmart.
Yeah. And then some of the things that we would maybe up in our, we pride ourselves on the 24-hour bait, that they can come and get 24-hour bait like we do here, that has the double door. And that's what we would want to continue to do. We'd like to, maybe up a little bit of our camper stuff or our marine stuff. We don't want to compete with those other people, but carry a few things that they're already going to stop with us anyway. So that those boats, when they come off 27, they got a spot to park when it's the boat in the truck, boat in the camper, or the camper in the, whatever. So we'll have, that's why parking lot will be bigger than the building.
Yeah.
Because we want to
Depends
offer
on
that.
how fast we grow.
Yeah.
It should be a lot more visible on the highway than.
And that's
Yeah.
our other thing. And
To be
then,
honest, like, sometimes I go to Walmart and I'm there for something and I forget that you guys are on the other side of town,
yeah, we feel that we have the real hunters, the real fishermen come there.
What most people do, they buy stuff from Walmart. They come over to our shop and get it fixed, because they do not know how to run it.
Or they get mad because
A lot
it's
of senior people
terrible.
buy crossbows, and they don't know how to run them, and they're very dangerous, because the arrows break, and then cables break, and they're not put together right.
So we want to expand a little bit of the fixing and then possibly some internet sales. So hopefully that would increase our business. We feel we have our share of the business now, but being where we are, we don't get any of it off the highway. So we're hoping for them people going up to Hayward in the winter and beyond is,
Create more people to stop in our area.
stop in our area.
Eat or purchase or view our activities that go in the area.
Mhm.
In our area.
There wouldn't be any overnight parking or anything
No.
like that.
No.
Just
No.
driving in, getting your stuff.
Getting their
pulled
stuff
out.
done.
Or there's a Walmart up the street that's got a fairly big parking lot.
Yeah.
so.
I don't think our parking lot would be big enough because semi would want to pull in, but
Yeah,
You can never predict what people are gonna do.
that's right.
we hope not.
Any other questions? Tom, Bill,
No.
or Ashley, any comments or anything? Okay, do you guys have any other questions or anything?
Not present time.
Because right now, this will get forwarded to the county board tonight.
Yeah.
So I'll entertain a motion to forward this proposal to the county board
I'll make that motion.
tonight.
Yeah.
That's fine.
A motion is made and seconded to forward the proposal from Flambeau River Outfitters, offer to purchase parcel on the corner of College Avenue and Port Arthur Road to the county board tonight for further discussion. Any further discussion?
Are we gonna have to have a price?
Just as proposed, I would say.
As for, just as for,
Yep.
142.
And I think for the hope there's any negotiations that we could look into that at that. It's fine.
Okay, no further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Since that's the only thing on the agenda, I'll adjourn the meeting at 5:47.
Thank you, guys.